Yeo-Woon gathers all that terrifyingly ominous heavenly demon chi, drawing the swirling darkness together until it condenses into a single, pure sphere of energy. The air around him vibrates at a frequency that rattles the teeth of every observer, the density of the power threatening to collapse the space surrounding his hands. The war god Aki, who is advancing to strike Yeo-Woon with the momentum of a falling mountain, instinctively takes a step back. His heart hammers against his ribs as a primal instinct for survival screams in his mind, fearing for his life in a way he hasn't felt in centuries. His eyes widen in shock at the pulsating orb, realizing that not only the demon god's capabilities, but even the attributes of the formless swords are concentrated in one place. He sees flickering lightning, the biting chill of frost, and the searing heat of flame all swirling within that single point of void-like energy. He understands this is deadly. Though he has faced many masters, the complexity of this chi is beyond his experience. Yeo-Woon then launches that immense energy toward the war god. The sphere leaves his hands with a low hum that quickly turns into a roar. Aki begins retreating, his feet carving deep grooves into the earth to gain distance, but he soon realizes it is pointless. He watches the trajectory with a sinking feeling, as the sphere is as fast as lightning. Before he can process a second step, it is already upon him. Left with no choice, Aki counters with his strongest technique, the formless void fist. He plants his feet, drawing every drop of chi from his dantian and punching toward the sphere. For a moment, space distorts and reality ripples like water, creating a vacuum meant to swallow the world. As his fist touches the energy, a deafening explosion occurs, a crack of thunder that seems to split the sky. A devastating shockwave sweeps the field, flattening grass and cracking the earth's foundation. The members of the great heavenly demon cult cannot even watch due to the intense clash. The light is a blinding white and purple glare that sears the retinas of anyone peeking. As the war god intercepts the attack, the weight of the impact crushes his internal defenses. He immediately coughs blood, the spray vaporizing in heat. Gritting his teeth to the point of shattering, he realizes this is several times more powerful than Yeo-Woon's previous attacks. Fearing he will be swept away and die, Aki decides he must redirect the sphere to survive. Initially, the pressure locks his joints as if he were pushing a planet. Then, with a scream of pure exertion, he uses both fists to twist the sphere's direction. His muscles tear and skin cracks under the friction. With one final heave, he twists the sphere toward a distant mountain peak. The cult members watch in shock as the energy pierces the peak. The solid rock offers no resistance, disintegrating into dust as the energy sails into the clouds. Taking the attack head-on was devastating for Aki's physical form. The bones and muscles of his right arm are twisted at a sickening, unnatural angle, making it almost impossible to use in the future. The war god looks at his ruined limb, realizing he has lost the use of his arm, a heavy price for survival. He is shocked to see Yeo-Woon still standing. He expected the younger man to be collapsed and drained of life. Yeo-Woon points the remaining two formless swords at Aki, their blades humming with lethal light. He tells Aki that, as expected, he is amazing. His voice is steady despite his pale face. He taunts the war god, saying he will shoot both this time and dares him to block. Aki is terrified, cold sweat mixing with blood on his face, unable to believe the demon god still has energy left. However, Yeo-Woon's talk is largely psychological. Imbuing the swords with attributes consumed 30% of his true energy instantly. Yeo-Woon hoped Aki would admit defeat soon, as he was reluctant to continue the slaughter of a martial artist who reached this level through pure human effort. He felt deep respect for the old man's grit. Aki tells Yeo-Woon, "You won this duel," letting his shoulders drop as the fight leaves his eyes. He cites an old proverb about the Yangtze River, acknowledging the arrival of a new era. He tells Yeo-Woon he is much stronger than the previous leader. Yeo-Woon is surprised and lowers his sword slightly. His grandfather, Cheon Yeo-Woon, is also shocked that the war god knew his father, wondering how much inner energy Aki must possess to have lived this long. Yeo-Woon realizes the war god is from the same generation as his great-grandfather, explaining why his martial arts reached such a terrifying extent through years of experience. Though Aki is panting while holding his ruined arm, Yeo-Woon notices a spark of duty remains in his eyes. He is still determined to stop entry into Mount Janbi, making Yeo-Woon wonder what could be worth such a sacrifice. Yeo-Woon asks if he was acquainted with his great-grandfather. Aki replies they weren't quite acquaintances, having only sparred a few times. Yeo-Woon doesn't press the past further and asks why he is blocking the mountain. Aki speaks with a gravity that makes the air feel heavy, stating that within Mount Janbi, there is a being whom ordinary people cannot handle. "I'm guarding this place to prevent anyone from encountering that being," the war god states. Hearing this, Yeo-Woon concludes that the warnings from the Shaolin abbot were not exaggerations. He drops his guard and retracts his formless swords, which had been pointed at the defeated Aki. The energy dissipates, leaving only the sharp scent of ozone in the air. Yeo-Woon asks if Aki refers to the entity he sensed earlier. Aki confirms this, explaining that the being is exceptionally dangerous, having lived with hatred, anger, and murderous intent for centuries. He shudders, not from his physical injuries, but from the chilling memory of that presence. Aki's repeated use of the word being confirms Yeo-Woon's suspicion that the creature is not human. Aki is surprised that Yeo-Woon could sense this directly through combat, a testament to a spiritual sensitivity as rare as the demon god's physical power. When Aki reiterates that he was preventing entry to protect people, Yeo-Woon asks, "Do I look like I am about to be harmed?" Aki looks at the young demon god, noting the immense aura radiating from him like a sun. He realizes Yeo-Woon was never someone who needed protection. Aki had hoped that during his watch, the white tiger's malice might subside over the centuries, but it remains a frozen wasteland of hate. He fears that if he weakens, an uncontrollable massacre will sweep the Central Plains. He muses that handing the beast over to the demon god might be an act of mercy for the world. Looking at his mangled limb, Aki realizes his duty has become difficult. The 10-year oath is approaching, and his right arm will not heal in time. If anything goes wrong, the white tiger will break free from its fence at Mount Janbi with apocalyptic consequences. Aki then asks if Yeo-Woon's purpose is to obtain the spiritual beast's core. Yeo-Woon simply replies, "Did you think there was another reason?" Aki offers a pained smile and a weak chuckle. "It's unexpected," he says, noting that others usually offer pretenses first, while Yeo-Woon does not hide his greed. He then asks why someone already unmatched in the Central Plains seeks the essence. Internally, Yeo-Woon knows he must prevent the Blade God from using a sacred beast's origin to achieve immortality. Realizing Aki might not believe a story about the mythical Blade God, Yeo-Woon gives a general explanation. He tells Aki that the 6th Blade God martial clan has risen, and their leader seeks immortality. Suddenly, a massive commotion erupts on a mountain. The ground trembles, and a huge water spout shoots into the sky. Aki wonders if that is the heavenly pool, his face a mask of horror. A terrifying roar, full of ancient malice, echoes from the depths. Yeo-Woon wonders if it is the cry of the white tiger. Aki clenches his good fist, wondering if the oath has been broken. Before Yeo-Woon can ask more, Aki rushes toward the mountain, ignoring his agony. Yeo-Woon catches up effortlessly and asks if the invaders use their duel as a distraction to infiltrate the mountain. Aki, surprised, recalls that messengers from the Righteous Martial Alliance mentioned the clan. He curses his distraction, stating the situation is now uncontrollable. Yeo-Woon warns that the core falling into the clan's hands would be dangerous, but Aki clarifies that they absolutely cannot let that guy reach his true form. Yeo-Woon suspects the old man is withholding information. Since Aki doesn't know the full strength of the 6th Blade God martial clan, he may be underestimating their ability to take the core. Suddenly, Yeo-Woon notices dark clouds gathering in the previously clear sky as the air turns frigid. Aki explains that the creature has lived for nearly 1,000 years, a fallen spirit beast on the verge of ascension. They then witness the transformed white tiger. Its body is the size of a palace, its fur glows with unholy light, and its eyes burn with the hatred of a millennium of imprisonment. The true battle for Mount Janbi has only just begun.